Beaches Turks and Caicos is an all-inclusive paradise for couples and families, and I'm going to show you highlights from 4 days with my family at the upscale Caribbean Resort. I'll show you the neighborhoods, restaurants, and food, and give you a room tour, but one highlight to start with is the water park. Included with your stay, Pirates Island is a large water park with a restaurant and snacks, water slides, lazy river, surf simulator, splash pad, and separate areas for the big and little kids. And yes, there is a pirate ship, not to mention the Xbox Play Lounge and a games room for kids. Kids are going to want to spend most of the day here. There's just so much to do, and it's one of the main kid-focused areas in beaches. There are regular beach chairs, plus covered seats as well on a first-come, first-served basis. But guests staying with the butler service can have covered seats reserved for them. While there's a lot to enjoy at beaches, the water park is definitely a huge highlight, and you won't find anything else like it in Turks and Caicos otherwise. And don't worry, I guarantee that parents will enjoy the water park too. My family and I spent a couple hours just on the lazy river, and then my daughter was on the water slides for at least an hour. As one of the many fun things to do at beaches, I was really impressed with the water park, and so was our daughter. We had to go back another time just so she could experience everything. Little kids under 5 and 6 are going to love the splash pad. Kids from 6 to 10 are going to love the water slides. Older kids will want to ride all the big water slides and use the surf simulator, and everyone is going to have a blast on the lazy river. There's also a kids swim up drink bar offering smoothies and fruit juices, Bobby D's restaurant, an ice cream truck, plus Mr. Mac, the mac and cheese truck with 10 mac and cheese dishes to try. The Xbox Play Lounge beside Bobby D's offers gamers in your family a chance to play kid-friendly games like Minecraft, and right across from it nearby they're going to find the Jungle Room, the kids' playroom with lots of table games. For any all-inclusive, food is obviously a big deal, and there are a lot of options at beaches. We tried as many restaurants as we could, and for our first supper we decided to try the Cricketers, an English-themed pub that really looked the part. And they had sports on the TVs, lots of beer options, including some local brews, plus burgers and wings and lots more. It was absolutely delicious. After supper, we decided to explore the resort a little more, and it really is beautiful at night. Between the neighborhoods, the pools, the lights, the beautiful design, and the overall layout of the resort, it was very easy to fall in love with beaches very quickly.
There's Bayside as well as Sky. Sky is adult only at night for dinner, but during the morning it's for anyone for breakfast.
The view from Sky is really wonderful, and the meal was delicious. There were also lots of options for my daughter, who's pretty picky, and my wife and I, including pancakes, eggs benedict, and yes, they also had beignets, which were fantastic. So let's talk about the rooms. We stayed in a Key West Ocean View 1-bedroom concierge suite, and it was really spacious, with a nice view of the ocean and overlooking the Key West Commons area. There's a kitchen, sitting area, balcony, large bathroom, as well as a visitor bathroom, and the concierge service includes private check-in, a property orientation when you arrive, and your fridge is stocked with your choice from wine, beer, and liquors, plus juice, water, and sodas. Suite had a washer and a dryer, so we could deal with our laundry, and I believe that most of the suites, or all of them, have washers and dryers as well. And each village has its own style. There are villas and suites available for up to 12 people for larger families and groups, and some of the higher end suites are even beachfront. I have to say, I really loved our balcony. I enjoyed sitting out with a drink when we had the time. I also enjoyed the fact that we actually had 2 balconies, and the second one had its own full table so we could sit out and have a meal. Whatever suite you pick, they all include the same restaurants, pools, drinks, and entertainment, so you really can't go wrong. There is such a culinary experience at Beaches. This is the guide that you get on check-in that has all of the QR codes so that you can find all the menus for all the restaurants. So that includes the family-friendly ones, that includes the bar menu, the bars, all the hours, everything else, and what is adults only, which is only 3 restaurants here, and you know, kind of what's open at certain times of the day. So like Schooners is a seafood place. There's Bel Napoli, that's the pizza place. There's Arizona's, Reflections, there's a jerk truck, there's French food, 2 Italian places, there's a burger place that's open it's open from 11 a.m. to 6 a.m. So like you can pretty much go almost any time of day and it's open. There's Kimonos, which is the only place that requires reservations. Soy for, you know, sushi and everything else. It's a Cricketers Club, so there's a pub. Bombay for Indian food. There's another Italian place, Bayside, which is a buffet place. Sky, which is right across from us here, and that's a really nicer and adults only restaurant that looks out over the ocean. It is just amazing how many places there are here. Most of the restaurants are resort casual, which means that you can go in shorts or anything else, but a few of them are resort evening, which means dress pants or nice jeans, dresses, and no shorts. For supper that night, we booked Kimonos, and it's best to book this reservation as early as you can since it does book up quickly, and it's one of the few restaurants that does require reservations. Kimonos offers a real show atmosphere with a performing chef and teppanyaki meal, including rice, fried chicken and vegetables, and you'll get an appetizer and dessert. Our chef fed me rice, tossing it in the air at me, right into my mouth, and then they sing and do lots of tricks. Kimonos is easily the most unique meal experience you can have at Beaches Turks and Caicos, so I highly recommend booking a reservation, and you can decide to be as casual or as dressed up as you like, and it's all included with your reservation. So let's talk about the beach. Beaches has a really great beach and lots of places to sit out, swim, and enjoy the beautiful waters of Turks and Caicos. You really have to spend some time at the beach. There are nearby bars so you can grab a drink or even a snack. We saw some wildlife around too, and the sunsets are beyond incredible. Every night was a whole show, and the longer you watch, the more amazing the sky gets. Some of the restaurants by the boardwalk offer fantastic views of the sunsets, but whatever you do, just make sure you head down to the beach for at least one sunset. While we were there, we saw wedding parties, couples and families enjoying the amazing views. And then we went back to our building because we had a special viewing deck at the top, and it was worth checking out for the most amazing sunset. For supper that evening, we went to Mario's, which is in the center of the Italian village, and they have an antipasti bar with cheese, salads, soup, shellfish, and fruit. It's a great mix of buffet and menu, and we had the chance to order our main courses off the menu, and there's a lot of options, and everything was really good. My wife had the chicken parmesan, and I had the steak, plus I had tiramisu for dessert, and they have lots of kids options. And I have hiccups. Since Beaches is also a partner with Sesame Street, you'll find characters with some of the kids events, and Mario's has a special Sesame Street section just for kids parties. After supper, we wandered the Italian village and stopped into the store to see what they had. If you forget anything on your trip, it's very likely they will have it in the store, including swimwear, clothing, sunscreen, plus gifts and souvenirs.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to showtime.
And then it was time for the big show. Beaches host special nighttime entertainment throughout the week, and here are a few of the highlights from the Italian Village Pool Show that we saw while we were there. There was music, it paid tribute to the indigenous peoples of the islands, and there were dancers, musicians, and singers. You can grab a drink from the bar, grab a seat by the pool, and enjoy the show. During another evening, they had a Caribbean night with themed food and drinks, dancing, vendors selling souvenirs, and there was some local art, as well as a fun street party vibe for everyone. And for anyone who loves cookies, on the way back to your room, stop by the lobby because you will find fresh cookies sometimes. Just get them before they're gone. Morning after breakfast at Mario's, I went to the local market. You can access it from the Italian Village, and they sell local goods, Turks and Caicos themed souvenirs, and clothes.
Welcome to the French Village. The fourth village in the area. Lots to see, and of course they have French food.
Then we went to explore the French Village. I have to admit that this was one of my favorite places, not just for the style, but because of their pool, the cafe, and the French restaurant. The French pool has a swim-up bar, lots of seating, and the whole area feels like an upscale state. We absolutely love the pool here, and there's even a little shade at the far end, plus a kids' waiting area, and we end up going back at night for a swim too. And around the corner from the pool is the Café de Paris, which is open nearly all day and has coffee, pastry, desserts, and some snacks. In terms of lunch, at the French Village, Giuseppe's is the other Italian restaurant, and it's buffet style. Has really nice seating areas and everything from pizza, breadsticks, and pasta, but there are also lots of other options, including salad.
It's even creamy mashed potatoes, roasted vegetables, pepper squid, lots of bread, desserts,
and they make your pasta any way that you like, made to order, with any of these options that you see here. It was delicious. After a little break at the beach, we had one of my favorite experiences at beaches. We signed up for a snorkeling trip, got on a boat, and headed out about 10 minutes from shore, where you can see fish swimming around the coral and ocean floor. The activity includes a snorkel, mask, flotation device, and flippers, and you'll have about 30 minutes to swim and explore. They also have staff watching out for everyone, but if you're a good swimmer, you'll be fine, and the floaty really does help. It's really beautiful and quiet here. We saw a lot of fish, and then we heard the staff calling everyone over to the boat. It turns out that a dolphin and her baby wanted to see what was going on and swam right up to us. Staff made sure everyone knew to give them space, but then the dolphin swam right under me. It was an amazing experience, and our daughter talked about it for days. One of our favorite lunch spots was in the Caribbean Village. You can actually get fresh pizza from Bella Napoli. There's a bar here with lots of outdoor seating, and they make the pizza fresh to order. It can take a little while to get a pizza made, up to about 30 minutes, especially if it's busy or you order a few pizzas at once. So it's wise to plan ahead. And they come in a pizza box so you can take them to go and have them anywhere you like, in your room or somewhere else. They also have a lot of options for toppings, so you can have a cheese pizza or you can get something funky made. Pizza, you know, just by the beach. So the Italian pool is really where a ton of the activities happen. This is one of those spaces where you can come almost any time of day and there's something going on. Some of the evenings they have a show. They have, during the day, they have activities happening here. So they have like scavenger hunts and all sorts of stuff. So it's a really cool spot to come and relax. If you get a cabana, which I think comes with certain levels of service, then you can come hang out here pretty much the whole day if you want. It's a cool spot. And then it does have this whole Italian vibe. It's Italian vibe with palm trees. Vendors here also offer temporary tattoos and hair braiding for an extra fee. This is a cricketers club, and I've got a little bit of a funny story there. Well, it wasn't funny at first, but I left my action camera, my 360 camera, my Insta360 X3 in there. And I didn't realize I left it there. And so the next day I'm freaking out, and I figured it was lost forever. So I filed a report, and yesterday, 2 days later, they showed up at my door, security showed up and said, "We found your camera." I really honestly never thought I'd see it again. I think that is a huge statement to say that I lost a very expensive camera and it showed up. I mean, that's amazing. If you're looking for evening activities, there are bars and there's a nightclub, but we found one thing that really stood out in the French Village.
Ladies and gents, boys and girls, how are you doing tonight? There we go, that's more like it. So like Soraya said, my name is Emily. I'm going to be your host for tonight's Family Feud game show. So we have both our families on stage.
Now, on a clear night, I have to say, you really should just walk around and see the stars. I was amazed at how clear the skies were in Turks and Caicos. If you're trying to plan when you want to visit Turks and Caicos, we were on the islands in October, and it's one of the quietest times to plan a vacation. Peak season is December through April, when most people visit, and prices can be higher. Just keep in mind that hurricanes can happen in Turks and Caicos from summer months into November, but October was beautiful. The next morning was one of the most amazing days. I got up early and decided to walk from the Key West Village over to the Caribbean Village on the other side and give you a little bit of a walking tour throughout the villages. Alright, I figured I'd give a tour through most of the property. So starting off early when it's quiet, so maybe we can get some good shots of the pools and areas like that. But for starters, the beach is empty right now. It's only about 7:30, so it's still early. So this is where we leave behind the Key West vibe and enter the Italian vibe. So the cool thing I'll mention here is that for starters, along the beach there's a boardwalk. You can walk the entire length of the property. It only takes about 8 to 10 minutes from all the way at Key West all the way to the end. It's quite cool. And the other thing I'll mention is that the pools are open basically all day. So the water park closes at 6 p.m. However, if you want to come and use the pools, you can do it any time of day. However, there are no lifeguards on duty after 6 p.m. So you're kind of doing it at your own risk. So something to keep in mind, but very cool option if you want to be able to come and enjoy the pools any time of day and night. You can. My daughter and I were out at the main pool last night and it was a lot of fun. It's a whole different vibe, obviously, during the evenings, and the pools are still super warm. It's wonderful. Beaches has a lot of options for water activities, so you can borrow kayaks and aquatrikes, learn to water ski, go out on a glass bottom boat, and they have paid options for learning how to scuba dive. It is amazing.
I'm a little early, but this is where you'll find the jerk truck. And I believe there's also another one. Oh yeah, the dive. I think they do drinks. Quite a cool spot.
This is the Caribbean Village, and along the water there are a number of seating spaces here that you can use when they're not reserved otherwise for weddings or special events. The whole village is so casual, open, and scenic. The rooms closest to the water are all like little bungalows, while there are more hotel-style rooms at the far end along the main road. Closest to the boardwalk is Arizona's, a buffet-style American restaurant that's right by the pool and has this fun grotto space on the other side. This area features lots of seating, there's a bar, and it was really lively and fun during the days. Walking away from the boardwalk towards the main road and through the village, you'll find a basketball court close to the villas, including Salt Key Villas. And like the rest of beaches, you'll find these very helpful signposts pointing to everything that's nearby. Close to the Caribbean lobby, you'll find Sapodila's, the adults-only restaurant with a Caribbean menu. One tip I'll give you is that you can eat from the menu of some adult-only restaurants at nearby family restaurants. So if you have a child, find the closest family restaurant and ask them if you can order from the other restaurant. That isn't always possible, but you will find some places that you can do that.
There's one of the other pools. This is another fairly big one. You can play volleyball in the water.
Running across beaches is this main road, and this is actually a place where you can take carts from one lobby to the next. Staff will pick you up in any of the lobbies that you need transportation from to get anywhere else. And this is facing towards the Caribbean Village on this side, and on the other side you'll find the Italian Village. And the road actually runs all the way through to Key West. So you can get on a cart in Key West and they'll take you all the way through. It's very quick and efficient. Here's a peek inside the Italian Village lobby, and like the other lobbies, you can sometimes find cookies or small treats here, plus you'll find an espresso machine close by.
It's a little early, but this is where the main gift shop is, the resort shop.
From here, it's a quick walk back to Key West Village, but I also want to give you a chance to see the main pool in the Italian Village as well as the fountains here, because they really are awesome.
So there are lots of places in the pool to hang out. There's a spot for like toddlers. This side on the right is a wading pool. The rest of the pool is not very deep. And there's this section in the middle with jets. It's a really nice spot. I highly recommend it first in the morning when it's quiet, or late at night when it's also quiet. It can be quite busy during the middle of the day, and there are cabanas all around.
Covered seats like this are available for anyone, while the larger cabana spaces have to be reserved and are available for guests with butler service.
It's Mario's. This is the Cricketers. So it's a British themed pub.
And here's a look at one of the Key West courtyards that are closest to the Italian Village. I really love the style here.
Well, it's our last couple hours at beaches. We've had a good night's sleep. We're headed off now to breakfast. And then we have to check out, but because we're staying on the island, we're going somewhere else next. We don't have to like leave the resort immediately. So we can't check into our next hotel until like 3 o'clock. So we're going to hang out. So we're gonna head over to the kids' pirate island where the water park is and hang out and enjoy. So we've got a little bit of time left, but it is coming to an end, and it's been wonderful. Such a beautiful place, and I really love Key West. This village is so beautiful. I think my other favorite is certainly the French Village, which is also quite charming, but there's something about Key West, it's probably my favorite. Beaches has been so welcoming, the staff are amazing, we've had such a good time. We've been to so many of the restaurants, I can't even count how many. I think there are 21 restaurants. We've been to more, probably at least 12. I'm not even sure anymore. We've been to the beach, we've been, laying out, we've been to Pirate Island, we've been to all of the villages, we've eaten at all of the villages. It's been just so great. It's one of those vacations that really sticks with you that, you're not soon going to forget. I'm having a hard time, getting up the energy to leave because I would absolutely love to stay here for another day or two. But I cannot say enough about this place because, there's this idea of a resort, I think, that you get a certain amount of things, and especially with an all-inclusive, you think you get this, and it's a short list, most places. The concierge service here, and even just what beaches itself offers, even if you come and you're not doing concierge service, it is amazing. I also think the incredible thing is the amount of activities here. So being able to go to the beach and just hang out, going to rent a sea kayak, going to the water park, which is, it's a huge water park. If you went to that anywhere else, it would be a full water park you pay to get into, basically. For a resort, it's a huge water park, and my daughter adores it, and so do all the kids I've seen there. They've got swim up bars and places for the kids. So the water park has one. There's one in the Caribbean Village where the kids can swim up and ask for basically like fruit juice, and it's a blended fruit drink. It's amazing. So just everywhere you go, there's activities, there's hammocks, there's games out in the courtyards. It's so wonderful. And then they throw parties and do things different times of the day. It's amazing. So yeah, definitely hard to leave, but we really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it. This is definitely such a great resort if you're thinking of checking one out. It's family friendly, and each of the villages has its own theme, so you kind of get different vibes, but you also get different levels of quiet or party depending on what you like. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or comments or thoughts, anything you'd like to know, anything I can help you with that might give you more information about whether or not this is the right place for you. It's fantastic. Hopefully at some point we'll get to check out Sandals and some of the other beaches locations too.